Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to develop Don Draper-like confidence. So if you are interested in that, then stay tuned and watch to the end because some of these tips are not what you might expect. If you're new here, then hi, my name's Ash and I talk about building confidence, developing a growth mindset, and gaining an entrepreneurial spirit. So if you're interested in that, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the new videos I put out every week. When talking about confidence, it's important to realize that there's two types, external and internal confidence. Today we're going to be focusing on external confidence, that is your appearance and how others might perceive you. I'll be using Don Draper from Mad Men as an example throughout this video, but if you haven't watched Mad Men, don't worry, all of these points are still going to be relevant for you and you'll still be able to understand everything. So the first thing to talk about is eye contact. I'm sure you've heard many times before that you should maintain direct eye contact, especially if you've been to an interview recently, then this would have been hammered into you. However, what I'm going to say today is slightly opposite. So not always is it a good idea to be maintaining eye contact. If you watch Don Draper, then you'll easily see that maintaining eye contact is a tool that you can use to your advantage. Sometimes it's good to maintain it, sometimes it's good to gaze away on purpose. Maintaining direct eye contact can be a really good thing. However, sometimes it can appear as though you're sucking up a little bit, or it can even appear a little bit intimidating if you're blankly staring at someone, and it can get a little bit uncomfortable. So what I'm telling you here is to use this eye contact to your advantage. Now the next thing to talk about is filling up the space you're in. This is not really talked about very much and most people aren't aware of this, but as you walk or as you sit or stand, it's really important to fill up that space. Most people don't think about it because we just stand or sit in whatever way feels natural. But in order to be confident or to be seen as being confident, you need to make sure you fill up as much space as you can. So if you watch Don Draper, you will see that every time he sits, he will lean back, cross his legs, use the armrests, and so on. So you should also practice this. Now, what I'm not saying is you go and next time you're on the public transport, sit with your arms spread out or your legs spread out because that can just get really annoying. However, if you're in a correct setting, so for example, your workplace, university, restaurants, or anywhere else that you deem appropriate, make sure you can't just sit and fill up that space that you're in. Use the armrest to your advantage and practice it as much as you can until it becomes your new normal position. Similarly, when you enter into a room, it can be really easy to slide along the wall until you see that one friend that you're going to go latch yourself onto for the rest of the day. However, depending on the setting, it can be more confident or it can appear a lot more confident if you walk into a room and walk through the middle, acknowledging other people that you see along the way until you make your way to that exact same friend anyway. But this is an example of how you can fill up the space that you're in. And again, this is going to make you appear a lot more confident. And again, you can see this, Don Draper doing this all the time. Now, before I continue on with the rest of the tips, what is it that you do when you walk into a room? Are you the type of person who naturally walks to the middle? Or do you slide along the wall as the example I gave you earlier until you find the person you're talking to? Let me know in the comment section below. On the topic of walking and standing, the next thing to cover is your body language. This is of course a crucial element to appearing confident. If you watch Don Draper, you can see that he always stands up tall with square shoulders and his feet shoulder width apart. Why is this important? Well, optically, it makes you look more secure. You are standing firmly into the ground and you are grounded. This is something that other people will also pick up the cue on and make them feel more comfortable as you look so secure where you're standing. On that same note, you need to always make sure that you do not, I repeat, do not put your hands in your pockets. This is the worst thing you can do because even if you follow the rest of the points, putting your hands in your pocket will make you look so insecure that it almost negates the rest of the points. So anything you do, as you stand, just make sure you put your hands maybe by your side or use them as you speak, but do not put them in your pockets. So to have Don Draper-like confidence, you need to watch that body language. Also, your body language will really impact your mindset, so you need to make sure you watch that. By the way, if you haven't already watched my last video about how you can develop a mindset of a high achiever, you need to make sure and go ahead and watch that. I'll put the link up here or in the description below, so watch that next. The next thing to do to become as confident as Don Draper is to not fill any gaps of silence in your speech. Most people, what they do as they speak is fill the gaps of silence in their speeches with words like or and like. And this can appear really unconfident, like you don't know what you're talking about and you're looking around everywhere. So it can just make you look a little bit shifty. If you've watched the show Mad Men and seen the way Don Draper behaves, you will see that he almost never uses filler words like and like, because otherwise you will look like the way my last few seconds of spiel was. You don't want it to be shifty, you want it to be confident. So even if there are gaps in the way you're speaking, then you need to just own it. So next time you're talking, just be aware of how many times you use filler words such as or like. You need to make sure that you are not using such words and instead own the silence. It can be better to have that silence and appear a lot more confident because you know what you're talking about. And trust me, it will feel weird at the start when you're first going because you're so used to using the filler words. However, it is definitely going to be worth it and it will make you develop that external confidence as we're talking about. The next thing about how you can develop Don Draper-like confidence is to have undying belief in yourself and in your own capabilities. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you have been in a presentation where someone you knew was presenting about a topic they had no idea about? Or maybe that's even been you at some point and you were presenting on something you had no idea about. Now, how easy was it to spot that this person had no idea about what they were covering? And this is because they had no confidence. Now, I bet that you've also been in a presentation where someone you knew was presenting about a topic they also did not know anything about. However, they managed to finish it with such finesse that even you were convinced that they did know what they were doing. The only difference between the two scenarios is that the second person had the self-confidence to believe that they could do it no matter what, and they were able to blag their way through without any problems. So you also need to develop that level of self-belief that no matter what, you will find a way. Then you will truly project that inner confidence and other people will see you or perceive you as being extremely confident, even if inside you're not yet that confident. But if you truly want to develop that inner or internal confidence, then there's a few other steps to follow. So make sure you keep an eye out for my new video that I'll put out next week around how you can develop that internal confidence as well. And if you want to see more positivity on confidence building quotes in your Instagram feed, then go ahead and give me a follow at ash.entrepreneur. Then if you want to know how you can be more confident, you're able to DM me directly on Instagram. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. And while you wait, here's the next video you need to check out. So thanks again for watching this one, and I'll catch you next week.